hungry and exhausted. And Adonai Escobar still has a long journey ahead. His family's traveled more than 1,500 kilometers to reach Mexico City, along with thousands of others. And they plan to keep marching until they reach the US border, where they intend to apply for asylum.
The reason why I'm leaving is because of my sons, so that they are able to study, have a better education, a better way of life, and to take them away from so much violence.
But President Donald Trump sees this migrant caravan as a threat.
That's an invasion. That's an invasion.
He's endorsed an anti-migrant ad that's been pulled from many television and online platforms for being racist. The tough talks backed up by stricter immigration rules. The government's committed $3.2 billion to build a wall along the US-Mexico border. It's hiring another 15,000 officers to increase border patrols and toughen immigration controls. And it's spending around $15 million a day to temporarily detain more than 50,000 people before they're deported for entering the country illegally. Trump's already sent 15,000 military personnel to the Mexican border. They're waiting to turn away migrant marchers like Adonai Escobar and his family. And the US president's threatening to cut aid to Central American countries where these people are coming from.
We pay these countries hundreds of millions of dollars, which, by the way, will be stopping very soon.
Countries like Honduras and El Salvador are already struggling with high levels of unemployment, crime, and poverty. A cut in funding could worsen their economic nightmare and force thousands more on this arduous journey of chasing the American dream. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
Well, let's get more on this now from TRT World's editor-at-large, Craig Copetas, who joins us now from Paris. Hi, Craig. We know that migrant caravans are nothing new for the US. Donald Trump has chosen to frame this latest one as a national security issue, but it's more of an economic and humanitarian one, isn't it?
First of all, let's stop using this phrase migrant caravan. It is pejorative. It is designed to put fear and loathing in the electorate. Donald Trump says it's infected with people who have smallpox, which was wiped out decades ago. He claims it's funded by George Soros and the Democratic Party. It's not. His lies go on and on and on. And no, sir, it is not an invasion. The Nazi blitzkrieg of Poland is an invasion. Under US law, for decades and decades, these individuals, whether they be refugees seeking political asylum or migrant workers, have been welcome in the United States and, in fact, necessary to grow the American economy.
And we know that among those fleeing persecution are migrants looking for a better life, better economic prospects. We've seen rising opposition among Republicans to temporary worker visas, which were the norm for a long time, and they were even championed by the likes of Republican stalwart George W. Bush and even Ronald Reagan. Could they be a part of the solution to these migrants who are fleeing Central America?
My lord, what fools these Republicans be. Look, America receives the lowest ratio of temporary foreign workers to permanent immigrants compared to any other country in the world. What the Republican base, the people who are supporting Trump, forget that without these individuals, tobacco, cotton, oranges, even onions would stay in the ground rotting. Without the 600,000 visas to temporary workers they usually give out a year, there would be no housekeeping, no landscaping, forestry would fall apart. And believe it or not, America's amusement park industry would ground to a halt. This is according to the Brookings Institute. The other side of this coin, Oz, is asylum. Now, asylum is, quite frankly, a very simple thing to apply for in the United States. It's a 12-page application. I've seen them. In 2012, there were 43,000 individuals who applied for political asylum. As of 2017, there were 142,000. The waiting period is 60 days, the process until you get to a court hearing. more than 90% of those people who are allowed in the United States to wait for that court hearing show up in court for the hearing. Problem. Donald Trump has made it so that waiting period is now anywhere minimum 2 to 5 years, and there's a backlog of 311,000 applications. Remember, this is what America was built on. Migrants, refugees coming to the United States, meeting a certain bar and joining the melting pot. Trump has turned them into banshees, into demons who are destroying the American way of life, and it's simply not true.
We also know that Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama, encountered a similar issue. Tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors and families left Central America bound for US border patrol stations in 2014. At the time, Congress authorised a $750 million aid package to boost economic growth and improve public safety in their origin countries to prevent such an exodus. Donald Trump is threatening to cut that funding. Will that only exacerbate the problem?
Well, it's a difficult problem, and will it exacerbate? You raise a controversial question that has an even more controversial answer, Oz. When America sends that money to whatever the nation in Central America, it has no control over the application of that capital. That money is given to the state treasury, which is more often than not controlled by a corrupt Central American politician, who you can use that money any which way he or she likes. Look at Argentina, with no oversight whatsoever by the U.S. or any other international body. So it's a real problem that takes smart men and women to figure out. But you don't figure out the problem by taking children and locking them up in cages. You don't do that.
Okay, Craig Copetas in Paris, thanks again for your time.